with the roar of the Saratoga crowd. Essential Quality has won the Run Happy Travers.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to RacingDudes.com. Well, I thought it'd be kind of fun to kind of look back at some of the previous Travers for this video and kind of remember some of the great Travers moments throughout the great history of this race. And boy, has it really been something over the years. I had a lot of fun kind of looking back over it. I almost did like a top five, like Travers ever, but I thought, no, I'm going to do a personal top five, the ones I enjoyed the most. Some for selfish reasons, and some just because I just really enjoyed them, and thought it was great performances. So, like I said, this is my personal top five. This is not meant to be the greatest five performances ever in the history of the Travers. This is just the ones I enjoyed the most. Be sure, to chime in with yours as well in the comment section. That's kind of why I did this. I kind of wanted to see, what was yours, and some of our listeners, what they enjoyed about it as well. For me, it's my favorite racetrack in the country. It's the biggest race and my favorite track. So obviously a lot of good moments. Now, remember, as you're watching this, I got into racing in 2007. The website was started in 2012. So I'm not going to way back with any of these. These are kind of more of the recent ones, as I had really gotten involved in it. Back 90s and 80s, I don't have much for that and so on. So, all right, well, let's get right to it. I'll share the screen now. We'll kind of play these and I'll talk over them and kind of look at them individually. This was the 2021 Travers. Believe it or not, this is my first Travers I ever attended live. So really, what we used to do is we would go early on in the meet, and then we wouldn't go back because it is kind of a haul to get back up to Saratoga from where we live. But over the years, we've been going more frequent. And 2021 was our first one to actually see live and in person. And of course, Essential Quality wins this race as the 2-5 favorite. Really disappointed that the price was 2-5. I thought, well, it's the Travers. Certainly he'll be 4-5, even money. Now he got bet pretty hard. So Midnight Bourbon, you're going to watch him. He's the one horse. And boy, it's sad watching Midnight Bourbon now. I used to have a ton of fun watching this horse. He always tried, but with him passing away, it is kind of sad. I thought he was really coming into his own. So you see here, and you're going to see what made this race fun and close, in my opinion, was the pace. Midnight Bourbon gets out to the lead, and look at this pace, 24.18 for the opening quarter. And for someone that had Essential Quality singled in the pick five, which was me, I was very worried because I knew Midnight Bourbon was a fighter. And Essential Quality, I never really viewed him as having just this massive turn of foot. I thought he was more of a grinder, and get to you late. So I thought, boy, this is a bad setup. You see almost 49 seconds for the half. And Midnight Bourbon, man, he's just relaxed. Everything going great. Essential Quality, though, the good news is he wasn't like fifth or sixth up the backside. He was second. He kept within range, and that was a great job by Luis Saez to do that, because that could have been a big-time worry if he got too far back. Now you see they're bunching up, but many times when you got a horse that's pretty good, that's loose on the lead, and they just ran 3 quarters in 1:14.49, they're going to quicken as well. And so you're going to watch both these horses kind of start to gallop away from this field as they get into the stretch. That's Miles D. That was in third at this point. He was making a nice move. He started to flatten a little bit late. Here we go. The race is on. You can kind of see it's going to be between these two horses as they get to this point. I remember I was standing right on the wire watching the big video board behind about 20 people. And I was nervous at this point because right there, when he goes left-handed, Midnight Bourbon really fights back. It's like, uh-oh, we got a battle on our hand. As you see here, Essential Quality wears him down for the win. Right here, you knew he kind of had it. You knew it wasn't going to go against you there. So Essential Quality, Midnight Bourbon, really good race. That one was a lot of fun. All right, let's move on. And many people are going to be surprised, but I put the 2015 Travers as my second one on this list. If you were around us then, if you knew about us then, which I realize a lot of people did not, we were huge American Pharaoh fans. He's coming off of a Triple Crown win. He's also coming off a Haskell win. They ship him to the Travers. He's 1-5, as you see here. And, you look at the first turn, it's like, okay, he's in good shape. But watch what happens. The number 6 horse, Frosted, is going to press him. And when this happens, and not quite yet, it's getting ready to, up the backside, it starts to happen. You start to get a little bit anxious. So you see American Pharaoh's in good shape. He's setting fractions pretty similar to what Midnight Bourbon did in 2021. You're like, all right, he's going to be just fine. And then they decide, Frost has been beaten by American Pharaoh a couple of times. They said, okay, we're not going to let him get out there. We're gonna get to him, and we're quickening him up. And this is what happened. And right up through here, Frosted gets right to his throat latch and pins him up on the rail. It's coming up here right after this hedge. Here he comes. And so now you got a speed horse that had been running a lot of races. Another tough task for him here, going a mile a quarter. And Frosted's not letting him get away. And you see that 3/4 in 111 in Midnight Bourbon ran it at 114. So you see they're really going now. And it's because Frosted cranked up that pressure on him. Now, unfortunately, if you're a Frosted fan, you're at the top of the stretch. You're like, oh man, he's going to win this thing. But basically what happened was he was spent because he really pressed him hard. American Pharaoh looks in deep trouble here. It looks like Frosted's going to go by. Pharaoh digs back in. Now he's going to separate. But look out for the number 7, Keen Ice at 16-1. Frosted has softened him up enough. Keen Ice is finishing fast enough, and he's going to beat American Pharaoh here. Shout out to Vinny Blonde from Real Dynasty. This is his horse. Anytime you talk about Keen Ice, he will, or I always think about Vinny. Vinny crushed that day. He believed in Keen Ice, and he got paid. So there it is. Like I said, painful at the time, but when you look back at it, it's kind of cool. It kind of adds to that Saratoga, mystique of the graveyard of champions, and it certainly happened on that day. All right, let's move on to 2016. Just 1 year later, Arrogate sets the track record here. He breaks from the one hole and he just dominates this group. This was really, really a special performance. I think all the Bob Baffert stuff kind of, hurts it as far as like being a fairy tale in my mind, but it was an amazing performance. Shout out to Saratoga Slim on this one. As you see, Arrogate was 11-1. He came on the podcast 2 days before and he said, Arrogate is the horse. I hope we get double digits. I'm going to pound him. And he did. And so at 11-1, Arrogate cruises here. And you see, we talked about how American Pharaoh ran a pretty fast pace. Look at these fractions from Arrogate. He's 23.23. That's certainly not walking. He just cranks it up. This was it's really the greatest performance in the history of Saratoga, which is really something to set that track record at 1.25 miles, and he crushed it this day. But he went fast early and he never stopped. And that's what you're going to see on this. As brilliant it was a pretty boring race in some regards because nobody else had a chance when they turned for home here. And you saw 46.84 and then 110.85. And watch how he finishes this race. It was really astounding. This horse was the best I ever saw for that 4 or 5 race stretch there. Travers, Breeders' Cup, Pegasus, Dubai, his 4 race stretch. He was incredible. I actually had American Freedom bet in this spot, and he's ranging up. I was like, okay, well, they went fast. Maybe he's got a shot. Oh, no, he's done. He actually gets second in this race. He ran really well, but you see here the monster Arrogate just gallops away. And he just pours it on. Nobody can even make a move on him. And guess what? Gunrunner is third in this spot. He ends up being an unbelievable horse as well, and maybe even a better sire. My goodness, Gunrunner's doing great. But anyway, Arrogate wins it. American Freedom second. There he is. And then there's Gunrunner in third. So that was a hell of a Travers. What a performance there. All right, let's fast forward now. 2 more to go. 2019. This is Code of Honor winning. And I picked this one because this was the biggest bet I ever made on a Travers horse in my life. Saratoga Slim had done an article with Shug. He'd done an interview with him. And Shug just sounded so confident on a Code of Honor coming into this race. And I was so confident after hearing it. The other part of it was I did not like Tacitus very well at all. And I did not like Mucho Gusto very well. Those were the 2 kind of favorites in this race. Tacitus 2-1, Mucho Gusto 3-1. They go out there. Code of Honor is the number 2. He's in the back here. Well, he's about 4th to last. And I didn't like 2 favorites. And Shug was so high on Code of Honor coming into this. I thought I was just super confident. Then you got the price that was solid as well. put a large wager on Code of Honor. And really up the backside, it's like he's in the spot you thought he would be in. And it's just, okay, will he fire? And will this Baffert horse, for lack of a better term, back up? Because, Mucho Gusto is the Baffert horse here, the 7. He's on the lead. Tacitus is right up there too. So there's the two horses people thought the most of. Code of Honor sitting there, like I said, fourth last, I should say, biding his time. And boy, these were some nervous moments for me, this large wager on Code of Honor. I really wasn't worried about any other horse. Just following the 6 and 7, I knew Code of Honor would outkick everybody else. Here we come into the turn. He's starting to make his move. They kept him outside. They said, hey, he's going to be the best horse. Keep him outside. Keep him out of trouble. He's passing them like they're standing still. But again, I wasn't worried about that group. It's this group coming up. Tax was up there too. Wasn't worried about him. Turn for home, I knew it was over right here. It was like, he will gallop home faster than these horses, and he's within range. Here it comes. I called him the little horse that could. He wasn't much to look at. He was a tiny little guy, but man, he always came with a run when he was a 3-year-old. Look at him. He goes right by. This was a great moment for me. Just gallops, last 100 yards. It's over. So love that one. That was my biggest Travers score ever right there. Code of Honor. Bet a ton of money on him to win. I didn't get fancy. I didn't bet exactas, tries, anything. I just loved that horse. Didn't trust anybody else. He was able to get it done. Of course, Tacitus wins the gallop out. He always did. So anyway, Code of Honor, loved that race as well. All right, here's my favorite one, 2013. It's also my the pick I'm most proud of. Will Take Charge wins this race. I didn't bet near as much on Will Take Charge, unfortunately, as I did on Code of Honor. This is a $20 win wager. And that was a lot for me back in 2013, a little bit different in 2019. But anyway, Will Take Charge. I was there at the Jim Dandy and watched him run second to Palace Malice. I'd also watched him at Remington. I'd watched him at Oaklawn. I knew this horse had immense talent. He just got off form during the Triple Crown season. When I watched him at Jim Dandy, even though Palace Malice won, I knew Will Take Charge was going to fire here. He was going to be a good price, and I was going to take a shot with him. So had a win wager on him. You see Moreno sets the pace here. He was a pretty nice horse as well. And so Will Take Charge is over in, what is he right now? About 5th. He's in the white kind of point here, the white saddle cloth, or the white jockey silks. And, he was just a horse that he got up to Saratoga and he just blossomed. If you remember, he lost the Springboard Mile. He came back and he won the Smarty Jones. He was terrible in the Southwest. He won the Rebel and he beat Oxbow. Oxbow went on to win the Preakness. But Will Take Charge just didn't run well in the Triple Crown season. Kind of just got forgotten a little bit. And like I said, the Jim Dandy, he woke up. The coach, Dwayne Lucas, puts Luis Saez, who at that time in 2013 was a young rider. I'm not going to call him unknown, but he was not what he is at all in 2013 that he is now. He was just kind of up and coming. Lucas made a good change on the jockey front to get Saez. You see here, Will Take Charge on the turn. He always had trouble with the turns. He was a big horse. He didn't really take turns great. But you see once they start to straighten out, here he comes. He's the number 5 horse. Big white blaze right here. Beautiful horse. So Moreno turns for home. Looks like he's not going to stop. Palace Malice is winding up there. Will Take Charge. Now they've got him straight, and now he's going to go get him. So we're going to get a great matchup. That's Orb, by the way, on the inside. The horse that won the Kentucky Derby. He's battling it out. It kind of looks like Will Take Charge is going to get second or third. I'm really depressed. Look at this. Final 50 yards. This horse extends, nails Moreno on the wire. That was just a great, great day. I can remember I was selling shoes at my parents' shoe store when this race happened, and I remember yelling at the top of my lungs. I think we had customers in there that probably thought I was a maniac, but yelling like crazy to get Will Take Charge home there. So yeah, big time race. Definitely my personal favorite. It'll be hard to ever top it. I mean, we saw a track record, and I still have Will Take Charge as my favorite Travers ever. So kind of what made me fall in love with the Travers more than anything else. Of course, the longer you go, you learn about the history and everything, but that race particularly really made me fall in love with it. So anyway, I'll quit rambling. Make sure to tell me your personal top 5 Travers, days, races, whatever as well. I know Vinny will chime in with Keen Ice for sure. And But, what's the horse that you cashed in huge on that you'll never forget? Let us know in the comments. We'll have a good discussion about the Travers. Like I said, Saratoga, my favorite personal racetrack. It's the biggest race and my favorite track. So obviously the race is pretty special to me. I think this year will be pretty special as well. So, all right, guys, thank you everybody for watching this video. Hit like if you like it, hit subscribe. If you want to get alerted anytime we do videos, and we do a ton. So if you want to get alerted anytime, just hit that subscribe button and you can. So thanks everybody. I hope everybody, whether you're watching from home or going to the track or whatever you're doing, party with friends, whatever, hope you guys have a great Travers weekend, and hopefully we all cash a bunch of tickets.